downstairs. Think of it as almost your personal research tool. Any of you can download it. You can add all your sources, and it's sort of your brain, right? It is your assistance. It's completely private. It has multi-format capabilities and has changed the way people think about the information that they have. Reporters constantly tell us, oh my God, what took us 8 hours to decode now is taking us 5 minutes, right? Magical tool. Gemini brings the outside inside, right? So if you want to know more about the market around you, best practices, the way X is thinking about something, Y is thinking about something, what already exists in the market outside, it really is a phenomenal analyst in that sense. And finally, AI Studio is, in one of the earlier startup panels, somebody said, you always looked for a tech co-founder. You couldn't come up with a startup unless you had a tech co-founder. This is really your tech co-founder, right? This AI Studio is your CTO, right? So each and every one of you can build apps, publish dashboards, create websites very, very quickly in the way that you want it to be. What people say is always better testimony than what I tell you. But again, here, 2 bits that I would really like to draw your attention to. How do we think about AI responsibly, and how do we be open to what it can do for us, but still be very cognizant of the checks and balances that we need to keep on place. I think that it helped us rethink our policy, moving from restrictive to a framework that enables us to utilize its creative power in a responsible way. I think this is one of my most favorite quotes coming out of the program. I'll stop with this and I'll let you read it, but suffice to say that it is, for us, a very empowering and transformational moment. We cannot make full use of this moment without partners like the Indian Institute of Mass Comm, our academic partner, without the ecosystem, and without individual creators who embrace these tools in the way that they tell stories. Storytelling has completely the distribution lines are getting redrawn. Each of you is a creator and a storyteller, and we hope that this session going forward will really spark ideas, unleash creativity, give you ways in which you might, if you had, trepidation towards any particular format or way of thinking, this will perhaps also make you more enthusiastic about new ways. With that, I'm going to hand over to Gail, who has an extremely interesting global view of the way these things work. She's been in Google for many years, and before that she was with Meta as well. So she has a platform approach that I'm really looking forward to. Gail?
So thank you, Durga. That was a fantastic introduction to what is definitely a critical conversation about the future of journalism, the future of news, and technology that we're going to be having today. I am unbelievably excited to be here. There is nowhere in the world like India that brings energy and excitement when we're talking about technology. I really love the fact that I'm looking at a sea of faces who are not the same age as me. So thank you all for being here, and thank you for helping us all learn. A particular welcome to our esteemed guests, and also to all of the journalists, the publishers, and the editors in this room. You are the very heart of the Indian news industry, and we're really, really happy that you're here with us today. So we are here today because we are seeing, I sit in Mountain View, and you can hear from my accent, I'm not American, I'm European, but I really am thinking about this, as Durga said, through a global lens. So what we are seeing is that globally, the way that people engage with information is changing. It's changing radically. We're seeing a fundamental shift in the type of ways that people assume and understand information. Everywhere in the world, there is a movement away from long-form text towards more immersive videos to audio, and people are increasingly looking at authentic content, not just from authoritative news sources, but from creators and from voices that they feel really represents them. And there's nowhere in the world that you see that evolution as quickly and as excitingly as you see it in India. So whether it's about audio, whether it's about video, whether it's about different languages, or just the vast way that people are putting content online, India is really leading the world. And in Google, we see this not as a challenge, but we see it as an opportunity. How can we evolve with you? And we're adapting our products at this moment to meet this moment. So yes, we continue to display top news stories from trusted publishers, but we're also displaying those right alongside what creators are saying about a story. And we're building our products, and we'll continue to build our products in a way that features more videos and results, and ensuring that we can support that rich diversity of languages that exist in this fantastic country. But that evolution isn't possible unless we're doing it in a way that we're working together. So Google cannot exist without the vibrant and evolving ecosystem that you have built right here in India. And we truly, truly value that partnership. It's a core part, you heard from Durga, it's a core part of how we make sure that we are building a product that works for people. And that's why we launch things like preferred sources, which enable people to choose the sources that they get their news from. So we've had some fantastic conversations, and we're thrilled to have worked with partners like the Hindustan Times, the Hindu, the Manorama Online, Quint, The Print, Jagran, Times of India, NDTV, Network 18, ABP, to implement this in India. And we're committed to continuing to evolve our efforts to make sure that we can also give those smaller, those local voices that are the bedrock of community, so that we can also make sure that they are featuring, because we know that that's what people want. So we're here to talk about generative AI, and we know that this is, exactly as Durga has said, is this really powerful tool that is really going to help us collectively rewrite the landscape. And when we connect with these tools, and look at how they can best serve India, how they can best serve you in this room, we know that the potential is immense. So whether that's about empowering journalists and creators to meet the demand for new format, whether it's helping them do things quicker in a way that makes more sense to them, or whether it's about ensuring that they can do it in lots of different formats, we want to make sure that AI is about empowering all of you. And we know that that isn't just about getting the message out there. We also know that that is transforming, or that is also showing up in the economic potential that generative AI has for the creator sector. There is a report out yesterday from Public First that talks about what AI could mean for the AI Corrective Centre. And let me give you some numbers. So they believe that before 2035, the economic potential could exceed 240 billion rupees. And we're already seeing this in our AI Skills Academy, where journalists, as Derma said, from over 110 newsrooms are saving on average more than 8 hours a week by using AI tools. And we also know that AI translation can really help a regional journalist story reach a national audience, and that's where the potential for impact really is growing. And this journey is one that we absolutely all have to take together. We are here because we want to be part of it, and we want to be working with you to be part of that. And so working together as technology companies, as journalists, as publishers, as platforms, and as policymakers, we believe that in working in partnership, we can absolutely continue to build this incredible, vibrant, inclusive, and sustainable future for Indian news. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gail. The way we bring a lot of this together in terms of the products we take to market, the way we work with publishers, and the evolution of those products. I think Gail is at the intersection of the way we operate, and it's fantastic to see your excitement about India as well, and spending the last few days with you. It's with great pleasure that I want to call on stage Sri Prabhat, who is the Additional Secretary for the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Sir, you know, we really are looking forward to your thoughts across partnering and collaborating in general, your view on the responsible parts of AI, and any, I think, messages you have to this ecosystem in what is such a fundamental and defining moment. So please join us on stage and give us some.
Good afternoon, distinguished delegates, speakers, ladies, gentlemen. First of all, I thank Ms. Durga Raghunath and Ms. Gail Kent for setting the stage for today's discussion. Very relevant topic, and the way people are standing, I'm really, I did not expect this topic will be such a hit, super hit. As you have rightly articulated, the AI moment offers an unprecedented opportunity to the global south. India is on the cusp of taking a leap. I'm proud to affirm that India is positioned to lead this transformation. Its capabilities create new possibilities for newsrooms and content creators, where AI can be a strategic tool for growth, enabled by right training and skilling. So capacity building is critical to creativity and use of AI. With rapid advancement in technology, in new tools, every day we are hearing about something new coming up. So getting skilled, upskilled is must. And in this context, I'm grateful to Google News initiatives and IIMC. I commend them and their leaderships for organizing this very successful program where editors from various media houses were given training, immersive training spread over 10 to 12 weeks, I think, with hands-on guidance and mentorship. So, and the response, as you saw, was tremendous. 100% of the participants recommend the course for their peers. So this speaks volumes about this course and its design. I commend for the thoughtful design of the program and the holistic approach, from in-person immersion and weekly online sessions to dedicated mentoring. The partnership is a testament to a principle I have long advocated for: collaboration over competition. I commend Google's efforts and partnership with the Premier Media Training Institute, IIMC. I encourage all tech platforms, news and media houses, and academic institutions to collaborate more on similar lines. I look forward to this. AI is transforming journalism, making it faster, cheaper. Use of AI accelerates the rate of production and reduces costs. It reduces human labor involved in development of news stories. AI can be used to analyze metadata, summarize voluminous reports, translate, transcribe. For example, Semaphore has used it to make a multi-source breaking news feed. The AI platform searches news sources across the globe, across different languages, and then the human editor decides what is going to be the next breaking news. Similarly, some media houses are using AI tools that can predict trending stories that their journalists should work on. AI is also used to proofread draft headlines, come up with outlines, thus assisting journalists. AI tools are also being developed to detect deep fakes. AI has the capability of personalizing news feed of a user based on the user's reading preferences. The level of personalization impacts user engagement on the news apps. Generative graphic engines also assist newsroom in converting their news stories into visual stories, and for data reporting using graphs, personalizing them for individual users. For example, PTI is employing AI tools for visual storytelling. PTI's integrated AI-powered tools are generating infographics 12 times faster than the previous methods. It is almost available real-time basis, all infographics. AI-generated visual formats also significantly enhance engagement on social media with a reported increase of 566%. Akashvani under Prasar Bharati is also using AI. For example, Man Ki Baat program is being translated real time using AI into 24 languages and broadcasted simultaneously. I shall now propose a practical trust architecture for AI in newsrooms. What does responsible AI look like in practice? It is not one rule, it is a system, a trust architecture. Disclose where it matters. Audiences should know when AI materially shaped content, especially if it generated text, images, audio in a way that could affect interpretation. Human oversight as a non-negotiable. Editorial responsibility cannot be outsourced to a model, any AI model. AI can assist, AI may be used to assist, it cannot approve the final thing. Verification protocols for AI assisted outputs. The stronger the claim, the stronger the check required. Newsrooms should treat AI drafts as unverified working papers, not publishable material. They should run through it, check it carefully. Clear accountability lines. If AI is used, every story still needs an accountable editor and a responsible institution behind it. Data discipline. What you input matters. Privacy, source protection, and security must be embedded. AI convenience cannot become a pathway to compromising sensitive journalistic material. Government is committed to enable innovation, protecting the information ecosystem. From a public policy perspective, we want an environment where AI strengthens, not destabilizes the information ecosystem. This means that we encourage responsible innovation and practical deployments that demonstrably improve accuracy and inclusion of reporting, promoting standards and best practices that the ecosystem can internalize, especially on transparency, provenance, and accountability. Building capacity, training journalists, editors, and educators, because literacy is safety measure. Supporting research and collaboration so that India's newsrooms, realities, languages, misinformation patterns, and public needs are reflected in solutions. I will call upon all to move from tools to trust. I will, let it be clear to Google, to news organizations, to institutions that train our journalists. Move from tools to trust. Invest not only in capability, but in responsibility, in responsible capability. Newsroom ready. AI that is transparent, auditable, and safer by design. Help build practical standards for disclosure, and provenance. Support training that is not a one-time workshop, but a continuing program that creates a community of practice across Indian languages and newsroom contexts, and ensure that innovation does not weaken the fundamentals of journalism: source protection, privacy, editorial independence, and accountability. To media houses, I would say, treat AI as a professional instrument, not as a shortcut. Adopt AI where it strengthens reporting, translation, transcription, retrieval, verification, support, but never allow it to become a substitute for editorial judgment. Put in place a simple, enforceable newsroom playbook. What can be automated? What can be reviewed? What must always be independently verified? And who is accountable for each step? Make disclosure a habit where it matters. Invest in your people, because the competitive advantage in the AI age will not be speed, it will be credibility. In the coming years, the most valuable newsroom will not be the one that publishes first. It will be the one that remains credible when the information environment is under stress. AI can help with speed, access, and capability, but only if we design it around trust. If we do this together, India can set a global benchmark, a journalist ecosystem that uses AI to expand reach and capability while strengthening trust and accountability. While use of AI for optimization is inevitable, as it enhances speed, efficiency, quality, it has its limitations, as it is, as of now, basically working on available data sets. Hence, human oversight is a must. As of now, I would request all concerned to use AI safely and responsibly in order to retain trust of public at large. To conclude, I look forward to the flash talks and the discussions that follows. I encourage everyone to focus on one question: what are the real implementable practices that let AI improve journalism without weakening accountability? Thank you. Thank you for providing this opportunity.
Thank you, Shri Prabhat. I think sobering but hugely encouraging. We value the openness and the enthusiasm around AI tooling, but completely take your point about transitioning from tooling to trust and thinking deeply about it. Thank you. That's definitely a line that's going to stay with me, sir. Let me invite on stage Surbhi to introduce the exciting part of this session, which is our flash talks. Thank you.
Thank you, Durga. Hello, everyone. My name is Surbhi Malik, and I'm also part of the News Partnerships team at Google in India. For our next segment, we will hear from Google partners, industry pioneers and experts, and AI Skills Academy participants on how they've been utilizing and leveraging the power of AI in their newsrooms to boost productivity, efficiency, and also user engagement. And for this segment, we have a very diverse set of speakers who have joined us for the day today. Right from the digital wing of Jagran Media, which is the largest Hindi daily, to the Press Trust of India, which is the biggest wire service, Mint, which is a leading financial and business daily, to MyKale, which is a website dedicated to sports coverage and analytics, and also our esteemed partners from the team at IIMC, who've been our partner for this AI skilling program that we mentioned. And they will take us through what their unique challenges in each one of their work areas are, and how they've been able to use some of our training material, courses and tools to be able to solve real problems for them in their day-to-day life. Our first speaker for the day is Rajesh Upadhyay, who's the editor-in-chief of Jagran New Media. Rajesh leads the digital wing of Jagran, national daily Hindi widely read in very many states. And he will come and talk about how his newsroom has integrated AI into their ops to increase efficiency and also scale language and local reportage. Rajesh ji, I welcome you on stage.
थैंक यू सुरभि, थैंक यू दुर्गा, थैंक यू गूगल। और सेक्रेटरी साहब को मैं सुन रहा था तो उन्होंने जो मैंडेट दिया है, मैं उस मैंडेट का ही सारा पॉइंट बाई पॉइंट सॉल्यूशन यहाँ पर डिस्कस करना चाहता हूँ, बताना चाहता हूँ, शेयर करना चाहता हूँ। हम जागरण हैं इसलिए मैं हिंदी में बात कर रहा हूँ। ये गूगल ने अवसर दिया है मुझे कि आप हिंदी में ही बात करिए। नमस्कार। इंडिया एआई समिट के अवसर पर भारत मंडपम के कोने कोने में एआई की दुनिया के प्रखर दिमाग उपस्थित हैं या होने वाले हैं, और सभी इस साझा विश्वास से प्रेरित हैं कि जेन एआई हमारी ज़िंदगी के हर पहलू में बेहतर भविष्य का रास्ता बताएगी। उसी कड़ी में हम यहाँ क्रिएटिव कैनवास ऑफ एआई, हाउ टू एलिवेट योर स्टोरी टेलिंग, इस टॉपिक पर अपना अनुभव शेयर कर रहे हैं। अपने प्रैक्टिकल जो भी शेयरिंग वो करना चाहते हैं। हर किसी को कहानी सुनना सुनाना अच्छा लगता है। हम सब अपने दादा दादी माता पिता से कहानी सुनकर बड़े हुए हैं, और कहानी का विषय, उसे कहने का तरीका और कहानी सुनाने वाले पर विश्वास, ये तीनों चीज़ें ही मिलकर मैजिक करती। सुनने वाला पूरी तरह से तभी कहानी में खो जाता है जब उस पर ट्रस्ट हो, यानी 100% एंगेजमेंट। असल जिंदगी में भी रीडर्स यही चाहते हैं। मीडिया के लिए उसके पढ़ने वालों का भरोसा सबसे ज़रूरी है, वही उनकी ताकत है। लेकिन आज जब पर्सनलाइजेशन का ज़माना है, हर पीढ़ी को अपने विषय, अपने तरीके से स्टोरी टेलिंग चाहिए। और अच्छी बात यह है कि एआई के टूल्स हमें ये सुविधा उपलब्ध कराते हैं, बशर्ते हम टूल्स को ध्यान से चुनें, पूरी नियंत्रण और निगरानी में उनका इस्तेमाल करें, जिसे हम कहते हैं ह्यूमन इन लूप। देश के 85 करोड़ यूजर्स में 70%, मैं शायद सुरभि जी को लग रहा हो कि मैं स्लाइड आगे नहीं बढ़ा रहा हूं, बट मैं अपनी बात कर लूं, उसके बाद केवल एग्जाम्पल्स है मेरे पास। तो 70% लोग अपनी भाषा में पढ़ना, सुनना और देखना चाहते हैं। एक मीडिया के तौर पर हम हिंदी के बड़ी संख्या में पढ़ने वाले लोगों तक पहुंचते हैं। मेरे संस्थान का नाम जागरण है, और देश की लड़ाई में सहयोग के लिए 1942 में जागरण अस्तित्व में आया था। आज हम 11 राज्यों में 400 डिस्ट्रिक्ट में सबसे ज़्यादा पढ़े जाने वाला अखबार हैं। जब हिंदी की हम बात करते हैं, यानी जागरण न्यू मीडिया की बात करते हैं, तो जागरण न्यू मीडिया महीने भर में 10 से 7 करोड़ के बीच में यूनिक यूजर्स के साथ उपस्थित है। और मैं अब अगली स्लाइड बढ़ाऊं उससे पहले एक छोटी सी कहानी कह देता हूं, क्योंकि वो हमारे इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट को जोड़ता है। तारीख थी 27 जून वर्ष 2024, जगह थी सराजेवो। सामने मंच पर नोबेल पुरस्कार विजेता थी मारिया रेसा। अपनी स्पीच की शुरुआत में उन्होंने कहा कि अगले 1 साल के भीतर डिजिटल मीडिया के अस्तित्व पर सवाल हो सकता है, सवाल खड़ा हो सकता है। हम सब हैरान थे, हैरान क्या बल्कि परेशान भी थे। और आज जब 1.5 साल पीछे हम जाकर देखते हैं तो कहीं लगता है कि उनकी एक दूरदृष्टि थी, लेकिन ये आधी कहानी है। आज कहते हैं ना कि जहां चुनौती होती है समाधान भी वहीं होता है, और वो समाधान तकनीकी से ही आ रहा है। हम सब जानते हैं कि आज के न्यूज़ रीडर जिनका अटेंशन स्पैम बस 60 सेकंड से भी कुछ कम रह गया है, ऐसे पाठकों को इंगेज करने के लिए हमें अपनी स्टोरी टेलिंग में भी कुछ काम करना है। और इसके लिए हम अपने रिपोर्टर्स को, अपने डेस्क के साथियों को जो रिपीटेटिव वर्क हैं उनसे बचाने के लिए तकनीकी की मदद ले रहे हैं, ले सकते हैं। फ़ायदा ये है कि हम जब अपनी स्टोरी को, समय हमारा बच रहा है, तो हम EEAT यानी एक्सपीरियंस, एक्सपर्टाइज, अथॉरिटेटिवनेस और ट्रस्टवर्दीनेस, और इसके अलावा योर मनी योर लाइफ यानी YMYL, इस फॉर्मूले के साथ हम अपनी स्टोरी को रिच कर सकते हैं, ट्रस्टवर्दी बना सकते हैं। तो इससे हमें एंगेजमेंट और अपनी रैंकिंग में भी फायदा होगा। चलिए अब यहां से मैं आपको सुनाता हूं कि हमने प्रयोग क्या किए, हमने दिखाया कि हमने किया क्या। तो हमने गूगल के साथ 2023 से एक्सपेरिमेंट करना शुरू किया था। IIT कानपुर और गूगल के साथ हमने एक हैकाथन किया। उसके बाद फिर अभी एकेडमी में हमारे साथी गए, न्यूज़ रूम के बहुत सारे लोग गए, उन्होंने सीखा, समझा और सराहा, और उसका हमें फ़ायदा मिला। एक बात बहुत साफ कर दूं कि मैं यहाँ जो कुछ भी उदाहरण दिखाने जा रहा हूँ, बेशक हमें बहुत फ़ायदा हुआ, लेकिन सारे समस्याओं का भी हल नहीं हुआ है। हमें इसके लिए प्रयास करना है, आगे हमें उसके लिए काम करना है। लेकिन एक SOP जो हमारे काम में आता है, जो सेक्रेटरी महोदय भी कह रहे थे, वो है जैज़ यानी जर्नलिस्ट, AI जर्नलिस्ट। ये लूप ही हमारा काम करता है, बिना इसके कोई भी खबर हमारी पास नहीं होती है। तो चलिए अब आपको मैं दिखाता हूँ। ये हमारा एजेंडा जिस पे हम ओवरव्यू बता चुके हैं, लेकिन ये उदाहरण यहाँ से मैं शुरू करता हूँ। अब आपने अगर देखा होगा, गूगल नोटबुक LM हमें हर जगह मदद कर रहा है। हमारे लिए हमारी खबर को विजुअल में किस तरह से कन्वर्ट करता है, राइट। और अच्छी बात क्या है इसकी? अच्छी बात यह है कि ये सोर्स से ही विजुअल क्रिएट करता है, यानी आपको गलत जानकारी या हॉलुसिनेशन की प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी। ये सबसे बड़ी बात है, राइट। पिन पॉइंट, ये हमारे लिए स्पेशली जो स्पेशल खबर करते हैं, एक्सक्लूसिव खबर करते हैं, उनके लिए तो ये कमाल की चीज़ है, जिसमें हम एक साथ कई PDF ला सकते हैं। और हमने भी ऐसी कई स्टोरीज करी जिनके साथ हमें फटाफट बड़े से बड़े डॉक्यूमेंट्स को हमें फ़ायदा हुआ, और हमें तुरंत डेटा क्रंच करके फ़ायदा मिल गया, और हमने कमाल की स्टोरीज करी। हाइपर लोकल, जागरण तो हाइपर लोकल की जाना जाता है, 400 शहरों में हम हैं। जाहिर है कि हमारे पास खबरें बहुत सारी हैं, लेकिन वो खबरें रिच हों, डिजिटल के यूज़र के हिसाब से हों, उसके लिए हमने बहुत सारे ऐसे एफर्ट किए, और आखिरकार हमने AI का उपयोग किया, जिससे हमें बहुत फ़ायदा हुआ। और अब हम न केवल शॉर्ट खबरें बल्कि 500 ऐसी खबरें तैयार कर रहे हैं जो बहुत ही रिच, जिनमें सारे एलिमेंट्स होते हैं, विजुअल्स होते हैं, वो तैयार कर रहे हैं। हमने CMS में जब जेमिनी को इंटीग्रेट किया तो उसका फ़ायदा हमें बहुत ज़बरदस्त मिला। हमारे बहुत सारे ऐसे काम जो जर्नलिस्ट करने के लिए बहुत सारा टाइम लगा रहे थे, वो सारे होने लगे, और उससे हमें अपनी स्टोरी को बेटर करने में मदद मिली। कंटेंट ऑप्टिमाइजेशन, अगेन जब हमारे पास हजारों में स्टोरीज हैं तो उन स्टोरीज को ऑप्टिमाइज करने के लिए हम AI का यूज़ कर रहे हैं। लेकिन मैं फॉर्मूला आखिर में फिर कह दूं कि सारा ह्यूमन इन लूप के साथ ही है। हम जो कुछ भी प्रयोग कर रहे हैं, जो भी टूल्स यूज़ कर रहे हैं, हर जगह हमने ये पाइपलाइन बना रखी है। AI स्टूडियो, अगेन आप देख रहे होंगे, बड़ी से बड़ी स्टोरी में तुरंत हमें हीरो इमेज तो मिल ही रही है, लेकिन डॉक्यूमेंट्स का एनालिसिस कैसे कर रहे हैं हम। अब आप देख रहे होंगे कि ये 1993 की 500 550 पन्ने की एक JPC रिपोर्ट है, जो हमने 5 मिनट के अंदर एनालाइज कर ली, इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स निकाल लिए, और हमने उसका बेहतर इस्तेमाल कर लिया। तो इस तरह से हमारे लिए AI स्टूडियो बहुत काम का साबित हो रहा है। और ये वो नंबर है जिससे हम बता रहे हैं कि हमारी एफिशिएंसी कैसे बढ़ गई, हमारी प्रोडक्टिविटी बढ़ी। लेकिन प्रोडक्टिविटी के साथ हम अपने कंटेंट से कहीं कंप्रोमाइज़ नहीं कर रहे हैं, बल्कि कंटेंट को रिच कर रहे हैं, राइट। और अंत में मैं बस यही कहना चाहूँगा कि एआई हम इसलिए नहीं अपना रहे हैं कि हमें इंसानों की जगह मशीन लानी है, बल्कि इसलिए कि हमें जर्नलिस्ट का समय बचाना है और उन्हें क्वालिटी काम के लिए सजेस्ट करना है, उन्हें प्रेरित करना है, ताकि वे अपना उस समय का इस्तेमाल बेहतर स्टोरी बनाने में कर लें। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Rajesh ji. Thank you, Rajesh ji. आपका infographics, which makes news pieces or very text-heavy things more digestible, मेरा एक personal favorite है, and I'm sure आप सबके अपने personal favorites होंगे of the session. With that, we'll move on to the next speaker, who is, Pratyush Ranjan from the team at PTI. Pratyush heads the Digital Services and AI Integration Department at the Press Trust of India, which is the largest wire services. Hundreds of stories every day, bureaus across the country, very unique challenges. But Pratyush will talk about how they've been using, AI to streamline their workflows, create, more text in different formats out of, very many files of data that they get. With that, I'd like to invite Pratyush on stage. Pratyush, welcome.
Thank you, Surbhi. Thank you, Durga. Thank you, Team Google. And thank you, everyone here. Hello from Press Trust of India, India's most credible, old and largest news agency. And Sri Prabhat sir was talking about trust, so trust is there in our name, Press Trust of India. So I'll talk about I'll quickly go to the slides and I'll talk about how we are implementing or have started implementing different AI tools in our newsroom. When we say newsroom, that doesn't mean that there is one place and we just started using one tool and everything started happening. It's not like that. If you know how a newsroom works, the information flows from one side to another side, and in between these two sides, multiple layers are there, multiple cross checks are there, multiple editorial checks are there. So we need to finalize and we need to decide at what point in time, what kind of tools are there to help us to save our time. Because the basic mantra of AI tools is to save your time, the save journalists' time, so that they can do productive and quality work. That's the bottom line. So let's move to the slides. So I'll talk about first PTI. So you know PTI started in 49, and PTI Photos we started as a news service, which is from 1987. We started PTI Videos from 2022, and we started PTI Fact Check in 2022. Just before the Lok Sabha elections, I had a thought and discussion with my CEO and editor-in-chief, Mr. Vijay Joshi, that we should do something on the basis of AI production and AI with the help of AI tools. So we started working on this kind of production with the help of the basic AI tools, but the things changed. This was the very first production what we did from our PTI infographic desk that we launched just before the Lok Sabha election. This was a very basic thing. Then the turnaround happened and the change happened in PTI newsroom because one of my team members, Mr. Deepak, became the part of this GNI Data Journalism Lab. And this program that was there for I think more than 2 months, and that changed completely how PTI newsroom started thinking about data and production of data stories in a completely new visual telling format and framework. So that was that. And then AI tools we started using in different workflows. Like you can see on the screen that there are multiple layers are there. And during those multiple layers, we have different sets of tools which are helping us to create, produce, or write, or ideate some stories. So these are the two sets of layers you can see on the screen. So from first layer to the last layer, we have started using different AI tools at different layers. It's not AI tool is, we believe that AI tool is not a magic wand. You started using any one ChatGPT or any AI tool, and you are the master of AI. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen in newsroom at all. It doesn't happen. If you're a master of one tool, it doesn't happen. But thanks to Google team's project that we were part of, and we started using different Google AI tools like Google AI tools, Notebook, LM, Pinpoint, and other tools that we started using, and then the production happened in a different way. And the second turnaround happened when I became the part of GNI AI Skills Academy. And I thank Google that they came out with this program. And just because of this program, we became so powerful. I'm not a tech journalist. I'm a pro tech journalist. But I started creating apps. I created one app just with the help of what I understood, I learned from this project. So since we are a newsroom, I recently launched this format framework of using AI in our newsroom or any newsroom. That is 5W1H, which we follow in journalism. But we started following 5W1H plus 1E plus 1B in our newsroom production as well. 5W1H, everyone knows. 1E is ethics and 1B is bias check. So without ethical check, without bias check, we should not use AI in newsroom production. That we follow very rigorously. You can see multiple examples here, and I can say that all the examples you are seeing here are the output of the PTI infographic desk, and the PTI, the 100% output of PTI infographic desk is supported by AI tools. So each and every part, each and every production, each and every slide you see here is a result of massive work behind by the team in the data crunching, data verifying, data sourcing, data cleaning, then getting the idea from the data, and then go to the production and the visualization of the production, how it will look like. The next example, you can see recently we used so many such production during our budget, this year's budget. So you can see this looks very easy when you see on a screen, but when you go and make this thing happen, the team works really hard to get the data from 2024 till 2025 and putting the data in a CMS like structure in the back end and to get this kind of videos. So at front end, this is like 1 minute video, but behind the curtain, like 2 and 3 hours of work was there to produce these kind of videos. A very interesting case study. One day we were discussing about let's produce something to showcase how India's GDP performed in the last 50 years, from where to where it went up. It was a very small discussion. My teammate Deepak said, okay, yes, let's do it. But he downloaded this data, the 50 years of data of all the countries from World Bank, and it was a huge, huge data. Thanks to Notebook LM, thanks to Google AI Studio, that we found where was India placed in 50 years and how it went up in last 50 years. And you'll see this production here. How India is going, in which year, from which place to which place. It's very easy to see here how it is working, but it was like, because we are news agency, and PTI doesn't publish anything without cross-checking for multiple times. So we checked it multiple times. I mean, I can say that more than 25, 30 times we checked each and every data, each and every number, each and every year. Then we produced this. And it went up like this on our social media website. There's another case study. So I can say that just because of Google AI tools and Google Notebook LM and Pinpoint, we were able to crunch the data, because sometimes what happens, you have the data, but you don't know what to do it. And crunching the data, scanning the data, cleaning the data, it gives you the story idea. So all the story ideas we received from munching the data from the back end on different AI tools and getting these kind of production on screen. So what was the impact? Impact 12x faster production we did, 5x more content output we did, and 500% more engagement on social what we achieved. And one thing is good with the news agency, that if we produce something, the industry picks it up. There's no competition. So this is why you can see the logos there. So everyone started taking our infographics, and PTI infographic desk and the production is like being talked about in the industry. And thanks to these two projects, what we did with Google. So the road ahead, we are trying to scale up. We are diversifying in different formats. And we are deepening AI integration in other parts of our newsroom. One bottom line is there, that we are not using AI for writing purpose. That's no for us in the newsroom. but we are trying to use AI in different parts where the content is in raw format, the content is not in the way it should be, and using those tools to reduce our time, the mechanical work, and start writing when we have something, some story ideas on the basis of those tools, what we are getting, products, what kind of ideas we're getting from those tools. So that's it. That's from my side. I think I had 1 minute more than I was allotted. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Pratyush. Very impressive indeed to see, the impact metrics that you shared, also the time that your team is saving in doing all of the data crunching. So you are able to present all of these stories to your audience in a much more appealable, format. With that, our next speaker is Avinash Sharma, who's the editor at Michael. I know a lot of you would have visited the Google Pavilion, downstairs and saw, that long queue right outside where there's an AI cricket coach. So AI can help you coach in cricket, but also Avinash will talk about what that means for a sports newsroom like his, where the need to have real-time data analysis on all of the match stats, on player comparisons needs to happen almost in real time. And how he used some of the AI tools to ease that process is something that Avinash is going to talk to us about. Avinash, welcome. Come over.
Thank you, Surabhi. Thank you, Google, for giving me this opportunity. To just give a quick overview of what we do as an organization. So we are One India. So India goes in our veins. And MyKale is just an offshoot of One India, the digital portal. It's the largest digital portal of India. And we cater to almost every language which is there in India. And MyKale as well caters to almost every major language. We are in English, Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Bengali, Gujarati, Marathi, and Punjabi. So my introduction to Google AI Studios was back in 2025, in September 2025. And I was blown away with the sessions that were conducted. And that gave me an idea to, because I'm a sports journalist, and if you talk about sports in India, nothing goes beyond cricket in a way. It's a sad story at times because when you talk about sports, there are other sports as well in the country, and there are equally passionate athletes and fans. But since we deal a lot into cricket and a lot of our traction comes from cricket, so I thought of devising an app with the help of Google AI Studios, and I named it Crickverse because the company's name I belong to is also Verse Innovations. So that's how the idea of naming the app came. So that's the name of the app, Crickverse, and it does a lot of things. So I did it without without any knowledge of coding. I have zero knowledge of coding. I have not been to any sessions in the past, and but with the help of Google AI Studio, I have been able to create a fairly decent application which I'm going to present to you. So this is the app. It's the overall outlook. I can present it into different formats. It has a different, we can pick up 6 AI personas depending on the newsroom requirements we have. Sometimes we simply have to work into the numbers. Sometimes we have to work on the stories. Sometimes we have to just crunch the stats and present it. And it goes on the way. And the best part about this app is it is very easy to access as well. So earlier there used to be a lot of data overload, but we don't know, and it's still the problem that we don't know what are we going to do. And the popular websites, the cricket websites which are there from where we generally get our numbers and the stats from are Cricinfo and Crickbuzz, but you need to actually have a mastery and the expertise to actually crunch the numbers from these websites. So what I did was to simplify the job of my writers who are not just cricket sports journalists, they could also be the social media guys, and they do not understand or don't have that much of experience and expertise of crunching the numbers. So what they can do, they can simply give a prompt or a question and a query, and they'll get the data and the stats from the app. So here's an example. It has a lot of data on two particular players or a particular player. But here, with the help of my tool, the user can get it personalized or analyzed on their respective levels, the way they want it. And that helps the newsroom a lot. Because the data that is available is very raw and very extensive. And it requires a lot of time to crunch the numbers and give it, convert it into a meaningful information. So these are the personas that I was talking about. And how I crunch the numbers, it's not just I'm asking the questions, I'm also using some URLs, and with the help of these URLs, and one of the best features of this app is the player versus player comparisons, because you don't get it anywhere. So what I did was worked on the vibe coding and created and asked the AI to help me compare 2 or 3 players' data, and from there we can build our stories from. So this is one of the example, and it's not just the we can create social media content with it. We can create articles with the help of that, and also we can create with the help of this AI, Google AI Studio, because everything is inbuilt now into the app. We can also create graphs, we can create images, and social media post generations have become easier for us. We can create trivia, quizzes, and FAQs, which are very, very pertinent nowadays. And for engagement with the audiences in the younger audiences, as Sir had mentioned some time back, that the attention span of the Indian readers, or the readers as such, is very low. So that helps us to just grab their attention with the right kind of data we throw against them for them. So this is again an example of how and what all the tool can do for us. We can create stories, the overall overview, the maps, the graphs, it's all there. And it can be done within a fraction of a minute, not seconds, but minutes. And yes, the impact it has had. It has had a tremendous impact on us. The newsroom can obviously, any writer can save 15 to 20 minutes of their time on a per story basis. It gives turnaround time has improved. The engagement rate has drastically changed. And I'll just give a quick recap of another tool that I have created. It's a comic book that I have created. I'll show how this is the kind of output we get with the help of the app that we have created. It looks so real. And the team is using it. And it can create 4 to 5, maybe 10 comic strip panels as per the requirements, and all these panels are editable. So it's not that you have to go and rework on them again and again. Obviously, you can edit it. So this is the comic factory that I was talking about. So that's the overall impact Google AI Studio has had. It definitely saves, if not 8 hours, it does save a lot of around 2 to 3 hours of my writer's time, and in that time we definitely can work on something more creative, more productive, and the same numbers are here to before you. Thank you.
Thank you, Avinash. And now we switch gears from the first love of the country, sports, to business news, another very popular genre, in news, and we'll invite up on stage Tanay Sukumar, who's the data editor at The Mint. And Tanay, continuing the theme of, how a non-coder can also code, build products, dashboards, and problem solve for their specific, groups or, teams. Tanay will talk about how they've been using some of what they learned through, some of our programs to be able to serve their audiences better. Tanay, welcome.
Thanks, Obi. Thanks, Google. And thanks, everyone, for attending this session. So I represent Mint. Mint is a financial newspaper published from around 10 cities and of course distributed across India. Increasingly, our focus on our digital content has also increased a lot. And so we are a traditional, we have been a traditional print newsroom, and journalists are notorious for being very slow to adopt technology. And all of what you have heard so far, like Jagran New Media and Mike Hale, they are all digital. But think of us, we have been traditional print, even slower. And journalists have, that also that ego of, the pride of doing things themselves or executing the skills that they are known for themselves. Like around 2 years ago, when we started talking about AI for the first time, for say something as simple as taking help for headlines, the response was, will I now stoop down to that level? Or what will happen to my own skills if I start doing that? Or if I started generating ideas from AI, what use am I? So stuff like that. But then also through training programs like Google's, we also learned, ways to showcase, like those responses are also coming from a lack of complete understanding of what AI could offer. And now, after using all the several tools, we know better, like say Notebook LM, how much time it can save, and it can save you time to do better stories, more creative stories, right? So I'll show you a couple of examples, a couple of use cases that that we tried in our newsroom, based on the training, based on the skills that I learned as part of the program. And so this is an interactive financial calculator. So pretty straightforward. So it's for someone who's planning retirement, how much money you should withdraw from your corpus in your first year. So sorry. There are a couple of variables here, like what is your desired, what is your total retirement corpus, what is your allocation to say the share markets, and how much time from now you plan to retire. And based on that, there is a formula that a writer had in mind based on their studies. So there is a certain formula that uses these variables to come up with a value, right? So as simple as that. Now, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, if that columnist had come to me to say that, can I with my article, can I put a calculator that readers can use, as an interactive tool, the response would have been like, okay, I'll have to go to the product team first of all. The product team I'll have to facilitate meetings, several rounds of meetings between the product team and the writer. Then there will be a first prototype, there will be feedback, there will be, it will take several weeks, right? Or worst of all, the product team will come back right after the first meeting and say, what's the ROI? It's just one article, it will get you a few thousand page views. What's the use? Right? Why should we make all that development effort to make that one tool? So that didn't happen in this case, because the moment the personal finance editor reached out to me to ask me if we could have such a tool with the article, along with the article, I immediately looked back at my AI Studio sessions at Google, and I decided to try it myself. It was just one prompt. And the tool was right there in front of me. Just a few, like whatever the problems would have been with the interface, they were just, all of them were solved within minutes. It lasted 10 to 15 minutes. The best thing of all is now the personal finance editor feels that this can be done with all kinds of calculators. It's easily reproducible. She is excited that we can do it with nearly all articles, personal finance articles, without any interaction with the product team, without taking away much of the editorial bandwidth. And how this happened? So here's the here's how it looks within the story. So this is a story. When you scroll down, we have embedded that tool right here. So like it's within the story, the reader can read the article as well as try the tool themselves and get the figures for themselves right there and play around with the tool. Sorry. How we did it, a simple prompt. I didn't even enter the formula for the calculation. I just entered a screenshot of the formula, in fact, from the Excel file. And that was the PNG file that you saw. So very quick process. The next tool that I'm going to talk about is something. So we at the year end 2025, we had a series called Springboard, where each and every story's lead image, the image that goes on top of the story, had a logo of the Springboard series embedded within it. Now, I think you can't see it there, but so it's there. Now, again, there were 50 odd stories with that in that series. Earlier, what we would have done was probably just avoided the exercise, the branding exercise for each story of the series. We would have asked the desk which is producing each of the stories online to send the image to the design team for each and every case, and the design team will send it back with the logo embedded in it. What we did, we created an app for this. The desk is able to independently do it. And just 2 days ago, I discovered that the desk had started doing the same without even checking with me for the AI Summit. So all of the stories of AI Summit have a logo on AI Summit in them. They are using the same app. So again, reproducible. This is how the app looks like. You upload the image, and the logo goes right there, which you can place around wherever you want, and then download it and place it within the story. So, so these are some of the ways that we have been, like, 2 tools that I showed, but beyond this, we are using all the, like, AI Studio and Notebook LM particularly to help us with story ideation and research especially, and they save us a lot of time. So that's it from me. Thanks a lot, and all the best.
Thank you, Tanay, for sharing with us your examples. We would have been guilty if we couldn't play your video, so that was really the crux of it all. So thanks for sharing that with us. With that, I would now like to invite Dr. Anubhuti Yadav, the Head of Department for New Media at the Indian Institute of Mass Communication, who's also been a very, eager partner with us on the skills, AI skills program. We all are, in a way, AI students when it comes to AI, and she's been a master of teaching new media skills. So we thought, who better to partner with the IMC and Anubhuti when we were rolling out this program. And Anubhuti will now share with us what her learnings, from this program are, and some of her favorite experiments from the group that we trained. Anubhuti, welcome.
Thank you so much, Surbhi. Very good afternoon to all of you. And thanks to Google team, Surbhi, Durga, for inviting me here. In fact, it's very challenging to be a last speaker, but yes, I needed that particular applaud. See this, when we are talking about artificial intelligence, this discussion on artificial intelligence started with this question, which all of us might have heard of. And the question is, can machines think? And from that questions to this day, we have started asking, the question like, are we training human beings fast enough to think or with the machines? I've been part of, a lot of conversations which are happening on AI in the newsrooms, in advertising agencies, in PR agencies. And I think few months back, the kind of conversation which was happening was whether we should be using AI. And today, the kind of conversation which is happening is that how should we use AI to be more productive? We've also heard a lot of conversations wherein people were saying that AI will take away a lot of jobs. Now we are listening to the conversations wherein everybody is talking about what are the new job roles that can be created around AI. And it is in this context we thought that we need to develop certain training program, not only for the media students, because I come from Indian Institute of Mass Communication. We train students who would like to have career in media and journalism, but at the same time we realized that we need to conduct training program for the people who are working in the industry also. Because for them also, like, they are experimenting, exploring with this new technology. And we thought that instead of offering this only to our students, let us build a program. And thanks to Surbhi and Google team who partnered with us, and now we have a training program for the students. We have a training program for the media educators. We have a training program for the professionals from media sector, and which includes journalism also, advertising also, public relations also. And another thing which we did was, like, we have a training program for the media professionals from the government service broadcasting. So what I'm going to do here is I'll share with you like our experience of running that particular training program. So we started with this training program with this premise that we need to bridge that gap. Everybody talked about, the transformation is happening in the industry, right? The people are integrating AI. But at the same time, if transformation is happening, and we have listened to all the speakers when they talked about, how they are using AI, we need to train, students and educators and professionals so that there is no gap when it comes to AI integration in the newsrooms and in the entertainment sector. So this is a unique industry academia partnership. There are different stakeholders who are involved in this. Google, approached us. We partnered with them. IMC, so it's not just Delhi campus. We are conducting training program in different parts of our country, which includes all our centers, and also like other institutions. Then, of course, like we had professionals from Doordarshan, Akashvani, publication divisions, and as I said before, we are also training media educators from 30 media schools across the country. And then, of course, like we had guest speakers from different departments. We had guest speakers, the international people, who are working and researching in this particular area. So the whole idea, like when we are talking about artificial intelligence, is that it's not about theory. We wanted that those who are attending these particular training programs, they should attend those hands-on sessions, they should try this particular technology, they should build those particular apps, they should create content. So the whole idea was on learning by doing, instead of talking about theory related to artificial intelligence. So the adoption, AI adoption followed a hockey stick learning curve. Initially, it was difficult for us, when it came to students, when it came to educators. There was some sort of apprehension when they were talking about use of AI or integrating AI. But the moment they start working with these tools, which many of my fellow panelists, they have said, Notebook LM, Pinpoint, at that point of time, we saw that excitement. And then, they were building applications, they were creating a lot of content which was based on AI and using AI to create that particular content. Another thing which we did was like one-on-one mentoring. And here what we did was we followed that sandwiched approach, in the sense that it all starts with a mentor. Every trainee were allocated one mentor. So ideation, brainstorming happened with the mentor. Tools were there to help them out to create content, to build applications. And then again, mentor comes, when it comes to reviewing their work and reviewing their content. And of course, like the human touch, because the mentors were there, it was very important, and that is something which we included in our program. Now, another thing was, it was not just learning, or it was not just the application of tools. As AS sir has mentioned very rightly, it should not be tool specific. What we focused more on, that all these people, whosoever were attending those particular training programs, they should identify what are their pain points, what are their problems, and how these AI application or AI tools, they are solving those particular problems. Then, of course, this was the big hit when we talked about AI and AI integration and in our training program, which was vibe coding. There were a lot of people initially very apprehensive of the fact that they'll be able to create applications. And this is what happened and came out of this particular training program through vibe coding. They were confident of creating their own applications. And initially, when we told them that after attending this training program, you might have to build certain application or maybe like certain apps, they said that we won't be able to because we don't come with the technical background. And we told them very clearly that you don't require technical background for this. The only thing which you require is you need to identify what the problem is, and the tools are here to help you out in solving those problems. So, as someone said that I didn't even know the C of coding before joining the program, and today I can actually build an app through vibe coding, and it has boosted my confidence tremendously. And as you can see, like when we are talking about the tool adoption and preferences amongst our trainees, 66% of them, they were using AI Studio. 60% of them, they were using Notebook LM, and then 57% of them, they were using Gemini for creating content. When it comes to creating or training professionals from the industry, these are the use cases which we saw. Most of the professionals, they are using artificial intelligence for brainstorming and idea generation. And that is like something which is very important, because when you have to start a work, the first thing is that how do you generate that idea? Even as a faculty, today, if I have to work on a presentation, the first thing which I do is I have that brainstorming session with AI, have the first draft, and then I work upon that or build upon that particular content. And the second was, of course, writing and drafting, summarizing long documents, preparing presentations, social media content, videos, photos, data spreadsheet analysis, editing articles, and translation and transcription. This is how professionals in the newsrooms whom we trained are using artificial intelligence at this point of time. These are some of the prototypes, some of the examples which I want to share with you. This training program, I mean, it's not a long training program, few weeks, and that too, like in a week, we just have 2 or 3 hours with our participants, and what they were able to build in this limited time. This is like one app which was created by one of my colleagues, Srilata. She might be here somewhere in the audience also. And this is called Social Pulse, and this is a real-time social media trend analyzer. So in advertising marketing, we keep talking about social media monitoring, we keep talking about social media listening. Now here is an app which is built, around that particular thing. And what it does, it aggregates, all the tweets or posts related to one particular event, and then, gives you the analysis of that. So a wonderful app which was being made in 2 days. This is another one, which is like gamifying film appreciation course for media studies. As an educator, I faced a lot of challenges, and especially like with this generation, wherein, they are consuming a lot of content from, online or from, new media. If you go to a classroom and if you think that you'll deliver a lecture and your students will listen to your lecture for 1 hour or 2 hours, it doesn't happen anymore. So how do we create content in such a way which is more engaging? And this is what one of the educator has done. What that person has done is that he had created this particular course in the form of an OTT program. So all the modules are in the form of an episode. So it looks like that you're watching a serial while you are actually undergoing this particular course. Okay. So this was the one gamifying. This was like another one, tap to share mobile app prototype, which means many a time it happens that while we are in an event like this, right, we would like to share our contact details. I was sitting with someone and that person asked me, do you have your visiting card? I said, no, I've stopped keeping visiting card. So at this point of time, this is the pain point, right, for the people who would like to collect cards, but in today's time, many of us might have stopped keeping that particular thing. So here's this application which talks about tap to share mobile app. basically to instantly exchange professional contact details. This one is to identify verified social media subject matter experts. This was done by one of the professionals from Akashvani. This is something which is very important because for their programs, they do need experts from the various fields. So this is an app which is built to identify those experts so that they can be called for their programs. This is like one of the app which was made by one of the faculty member. Again, making teaching content, learning, interesting, engaging, creating infographics, mind maps, and that is something which was developed by them. Publication division also worked on one of the application which they are using right now. Publication division by Information and Broadcasting Ministry. This is a magazine which a lot of people they read, especially those who are preparing for civil service examination. So there are long articles, but what they did that they created mind maps for some of the articles so that it becomes easy for those people to revise the content which they might have read in that article. This is also very interesting. I mean, I don't know how many of you are coming from education background, but there are a lot of people in academia, they do research, and these researches are being published in journals. And not many people go to library and read those particular journals. So can we simplify the content and the researches which have been done, and the AI platform is being used to do that, mind maps on that, infographics on those particular papers so that it becomes easy for people to understand. So the biggest barrier was not tech. The biggest barrier for our participants was time to practice. And this is what they kept telling us, that we have learned something, but it becomes very hard in the sense that when they go back to their newsrooms, they didn't get much time to practice on that particular thing. So that was the the barrier which we faced. So what is the way forward? The first is we need to have more academia industry collaborations like this. And we're really thankful to Google who partnered with us in conducting all these training programs. They actually got best of the speakers for all our sessions. So I think we need to have more of such training collaborations so that whatever new products which are being built by all these tech platforms, it should be introduced to media schools, J schools, because these are the people who are going to join media industry in maybe 1 year or 2 years. Second is we need to train teachers and students and also journalists in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And that is something which is very important. And of course, ongoing knowledge sharing through journaling. And we conducted pre-summit, AI summit. And one thing that came out from that particular summit was that you need to create a journal, you need to start a journal wherein the best practices related to AI is documented. There's a lot of good work which is happening. Right now, if you go outside, there are a lot of people working in this area, but we do not have a journal wherein we can document those successful practices and also the researches by the people who are doing a lot of work around artificial intelligence. So that's all from my side, but today, when I came here, I thought that I'll ask this question to the participants and to the audience, and I'm doing it right now because if I thought I'll do it, and my question is, how is the AI Josh? How is the AI Josh? You have to keep this Josh high because in one of the address by our Honorable Minister of Information and Broadcasting, he talked about creating India mission. And I think, we'll be requiring this Josh at that point of time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Professor Anubhuti, for such an energetic and inspiring session. With that, we come to the end of this session. I want to extend a vote of thank you to especially our chief guest for today, Mr. Prabhat. Thank you for joining us and sharing the industry ecosystem insights with us. And a huge thank you to all our publishers who came forward to share their interesting AI experiments, their creativity, the passion that they bring to this project. Thank you so much all, and for a lovely audience, thanks a lot.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for all the sessions today. We'll be starting the final session at 3:45 in the next 10 minutes. So if you'd like to move around and come back in, please do, and make room for new faces as well. Thank you.